Welcome. My name is Andrew, and it's my pleasure to give you a brief demo of MARS, the Management of Agriculture Research Station software being designed by AGRICON International Inc. Before we can do anything, we need to log into MARS. A user may have multiple roles. If the user has an admin role, it will be selected by default. Only an admin has the functionality to create a new institute. So let's create a new institute. Click on the Create New Institute button. This will open the window that allows you to create an institute. The drop-down boxes allow you to select items such as country and director. You can begin typing in the name to make a quick selection or open the drop-down list to select. Select the start date for the Institute fiscal year. Don't worry about the year value as it will be ignored. In this example, the fiscal years start every year from February 1st. Click Save to create the Institute. Clicking on the Institute name will open the Institute website in a new window. In this case, we used Google as our Institute website. To change your logo, click on the Upload Logo button. Select your logo file. Click Save to save all the changes, if any. Now we'll change roles to the Institute Director. Select the newly created institute. The Institute Director can edit the institute data or add a center to the institute. The Institute Director cannot delete the institute though. Click on Add Center and put in all the information. Click Save to create the new center. Expanding the Institute tree will reveal the new center. As Institute Director, you can delete the center. Now we'll change roles to that of Center Director. The role of the Center Director allows you to edit the center and add stations. So let's go ahead and add a new station. Hey, congratulations! You have now created an entry for each of the organization structures within MARS. You can expand the tree structure and navigate between them. We can log into MARS with a pre-selected role. The drop-down shows us all the roles available to the user. These roles are assigned during the user creation. For this demo, we will select the Station Director and log in. Note that MARS has logged the user in as Station Director. As we navigate through the parent institute and center, you'll notice that the Station Director cannot make any changes to them. MARS allows us to work with maps. Clicking on Manage Map brings up the Map Operations dialog box. Clicking the Import Map button will allow us to select a shapefile, and the map will import it into MARS for this station. You can import multiple shapefiles, and each imported file will appear as a layer. The Refresh Map button will refresh the map and bring out the most recent changes. Selecting a layer in the layer list allows you to view and select elements in that layer. The plot properties are listed in the Graphic Information System, or GIS, properties table. Click the Manage Map button to enter the Edit Map mode again. Clicking the gear icon for the layer will bring up the layer configuration window. In the General tab, you can change the layer name, layer color, and adjust the order of the layers displayed. Click the Update button to save the changes. Close the configuration window and click the Refresh Map link. You will see the changes take effect. In this example, we will configure the Woods layer. Open up the Plots layer configuration again. Now go to the Validation tab. Select Plot in the Validate For dropdown. This validates all the map elements in the selected layer and the required plot properties for its calculations. The result shows almost all of the plots have valid areas but are missing the other 3 required properties for its calculations. Click on a plot. The missing property options will appear on the right. The station director can now enter in the appropriate values. In this example, we will fix plots 37 and 42. Once the data is filled in, click Save. You will see all 4 properties have become valid for the 2 fixed plots. We will use these 2 plots in the budget operation demo. Other tabs in this configuration window also provide more advanced settings and configuration, such as property mapping and unit conversions to align the imported map data to Mars' system requirements. Some of these functions are still in development, but will be available soon. After refreshing the map, the newly added properties will appear in the property list. Click the red cross icon to exit the map editing mode. Log into Mars and change the current role to the station director. Navigate to the station we just created. Click on the Project tab. Click on the Add New Project button. You can select one of the 3 types of projects. If you select Research, some of the research-specific inputs will appear, such as crop selection. Fill in the data for the project. You can add or delete the project crops by double-clicking or pressing the double arrow button. Once finished, click the Save button. The new project is now listed under Fiscal Year 2013. Create another project, but this time as a field support service. Fill in the data and click Save to create the project. Now we will create an infrastructure support project with a start date of February 3rd, 2014. Mars is smart enough to place projects into the appropriate fiscal years that they fall into. Recall in this demo that we set the Institute fiscal year to the start date of February 1st. So this project needs to be counted in the 2014 fiscal year. After creating the project, you will notice it is not under the 2013 fiscal year. Change the fiscal year to 2014 to see the last project we created. Log into Mars and change the current role to Project Director. Select the Budget tab to go to the Budget module. Any projects belonging to the logged in user will be displayed. Select the research project we just created and click Create Budget. We will first select plots for the project and then we will assign crops to the appropriate plots. The crop selector will only list the crops that we added to this specific project. The map filter is a tool that will help find appropriate plots for your project needs. So let's open the map filter. Let's filter plots by their historical yield. Select Yield from the first drop-down box. The advanced search criteria will appear. You can put the criteria for the yield. Select the year range and pick a crop. You can click on the plus icon and add another criteria. You can also filter plots by the types of crops grown on them. This filter also uses advanced search criteria. Click the year range. You are free to add or remove search criteria in the map filter by clicking the plus and X buttons respectively. In this example, the filter will look for plots that have, in the last 12 years, had a banana planted on them with an average yield greater than 1,000 kilograms. The plots also have had to have beans in the last 12 years and must have an area larger than 2 hectares, or 20,000 square meters. Click the Apply Filter button to apply the filter. Now, due to the lack of historical data, the filter returned no matching plots. This is why the map is gray. Any plots matching our requirements will be highlighted in the map. Let's do a quick example to show what filtered plots look like. Let's look for all plots with an area bigger than 2 hectares or 20,000 square meters. We can now select one of the plots and add it to the budget. The plot calendar shows the plot availability. You can see that plot 42 is not available for other projects in August, as we just booked it. We can add more than one plot to a budget. As you can see, plot 37 has been added and scheduled for use in August. Click Next to proceed to the next step. We will now add operations to the budget. Clicking the View Map link will show the map and the highlighted plot on it. Select one of the plots and click on Add Operations. A pop-up window will list all the operations that you can add to your budget. To select multiple operations, hold the Control key down and click on each operation you wish to add. Press Add Selected Operations to add them to the plot budget. You can also reorder the operations. By double-clicking the operation, you can fill out the date range and temperature parameters. Click Save Changes once you are done. Now let's add some operations to plot 37. Again, click on Save Changes when you're done. Click Next to proceed to the next step, adding equipment. We begin by selecting a plot, then an operation. Now we add equipment to each operation. Click on Add Equipment to open the equipment window. Find the equipment that you need for the operation and click on it. The equipment properties will be listed on the right-hand side. Check off the equipment and tractors that you need and add them to the operation. We now need to attach the implements to the tractor. Click on Attach, and a window pops up that lists the equipment you just added to the operation. Select the equipment and attach it to the tractor. Mars calculates the required power that is needed for the implement. If the tractor selected does not have the required power, a warning is displayed on the top of the screen. The only other required parameters are the fuel price and the driver cost. Enter these and click Save. Now we add equipment and tractors for each of the operations. For this demo, we will ignore the tractor power warning. Now we'll do the same processes for the other plots. When all the data has been entered, click Next to proceed to the summary. The summary displays the budget detail with the estimated cost for the operations. You can save the progress by clicking the Edit Later button. You can view the summary on the Project Budget Summary page as well. You can continue to work on the budget by clicking the Update Budget button. You can go back and forth to any step to change the plots, operations, or equipment and tractors. Clicking on the Completed button has the same result as the Edit Later button, and it will bring you to the project budget summary page. You can create a PDF file for the budget. This PDF report that is generated can be saved to your computer or can be printed. Once you're comfortable with the budget, you can send the draft budget for approval. The status changes and now requires approval. It now requires that it be approved, rejected, or closed. The steps to create a field support budget are similar to the steps to create the research project button. There are some differences though. For one, there are no crops to be selected in the field support budgets. The other difference is that there is only one selectable operation. The rest of the steps are the same as they were in the research budget creation. If you forget to enter the fuel and labor costs, your summary will look like this. But you can go back and fix the problem. Before we create an infrastructure support budget, let's submit the field support budget for approval. Select the infrastructure project and create the budget. The first thing we need to do is add operations to the budget. So press the Add Operations budget and pick the operation from the list box. Double-clicking the operation enables the editing of the various parameters. So let's fill some values in. Go to the next step and select Roads. If the map element is hard to select, you can always zoom in on the map to make it easier to pick out the objects. Select the operation and add the roads that you need to the plot list. When you're finished, press Next to go to the budget summary. You can always go back to make changes to the budget. And when all the changes have been made, send the budget for approval. At this point, all the newly created projects need to be approved. There are 3 actions one could do at this point. We could approve, reject, or close the budget. So let's approve the research budget. The status changes to approved. A future feature is to implement the project, and that will come soon. Let's reject the field support project. The status changes to rejected. At this point, the project director can go back to the budget, make required changes, and send for approval again. Until it gets approved. Let's approve the infrastructure support project budget as well. Once the budgets are approved, the budgets will be added up for the station, center, and institute. Let's look at the station. Change the role to Station Director. Select the station. You will see the station budget is a summation of the research project budget and field support project budget for 2013 fiscal year. If we change the fiscal year to 2014, the budget will show the infrastructure support project budget as it was scheduled for the 2014 fiscal year. Let's look now at the entire center. Change the role to Center Director. Select the center. You will see the same summation of budgets for each fiscal year as in the station. Now, if we had more than one station for the center, it would add those in too. Now let's change the role to Institute Director. Select the institute. The budget will reflect the budget of all its child centers. Please note that this area is under development, but it is an example of what it will look like and how it will work. Let's log into Mars. Click on the Analysis tab. We'll select one of the stations to prepare the station analysis. The project analysis is brought up directly. All the projects for the station are listed for the selected calendar year. Pick a fiscal year and select the project. A summary table pops up showing the budget, cost, and the differences for each plot. The footer of the analysis table shows the budget total, cost total, and total differences. Selecting a plot in the analysis table will display the map and highlight the selected plot. Clicking on the Plot Analysis tab will display the plot yield analysis within the selected calendar year. Let's consider plot 42 as an example. The analysis shows that we had 2 yields in 2012. It shows a yield of 100 kilograms of wheat and 300 kilograms of lentils. Selecting an item in the analysis table will bring up the map and highlight the plot location. The Plot History tab displays the plot history analysis. The map on the left allows you to select the plot that you want to look at. Once a plot is selected, A list of all projects for that selected plot in the selected fiscal year will be displayed. Each project has its own section displaying project information, operations, and cost of operations. Changing the year will refresh and load the historical data from that year. You can switch between the tabs at any time. Please note that the data in this demo is for development and testing purposes only. They may not be accurate or even reasonable, but we thank you for watching. We look forward to your comments.